We start at 4 o'clock, though, tracking storms across central Indiana. These storms could pack a punch. That's why we're under a weather impact alert.
So the storms forced practice to be canceled for the day at the track. You're taking a live look at IMS, where fans were asked to leave the grandstands due to these severe storms. As you can see, it is soaking wet out there. The radar is active right now.
We are under the threat of severe storms. So let's head over to the Weather Center. Sean Ash is tracking it all. And this, Sean, is also going to impact the drive home for sure.
Yeah, it really is. Wet roadways here. And we're gradually transitioning from the threat of severe wind to more of a flood issue. So there's much going on. Let me show you the camera network here across central Indiana, because that certainly tells a story. Got two of our NDOT cameras. I'll hit these up in a moment. And as you mentioned too, we got some laps in today. But we knew the rain was coming in before 3 o'clock, and so it cut that practice short. So here's what we have right now in terms of warnings. One severe thunderstorm warning polygon that includes Knightstown, includes Greenfield, for the potential of some 60-mile-per-hour gust. And you can see where this brighter shade of red is. Just about 5 minutes ago, I had about 55 to near 60 plus in this. So this is spreading out along I-69. It's going to head into Newcastle here. Now, for Indianapolis, for Johnson County, for Monroe County, for Hendricks County, it's now downpours. The severe wind threat is going to be, if we get any, it's going to be on the leading edge of the line here. Very heavy rain setting up over Bloomington, and you can see the flood warning that includes the majority of the metro area. That goes until at least 8:30, and we will likely see more of those. Now, as expected, and unfortunately, violent storms in progress. These are tornadic supercells within that level 4 risk. For us, you can see this line is slowing down, and it's west to east. And I don't like the looks of that in terms of flooding. And what we're expecting as we go through the evening here, near and south of I-70, we are going to have additional flooding here before midnight. There's likely going to be areas that get well over 2 inches of rainfall. So we want you to be prepared for that. That is the highest severe weather threat for us here. I mentioned we've got road issues. I want to show you that real quickly. I want to show you one camera we've got here. This is I-70 East. South of Indianapolis, where we've had an accident. So it is a very wet commute. We will keep you updated on the radar and the flooding ahead in the forecast.
All right, Sean, thank you. And we have more weather coverage for you over on WTHR Plus. You can check out our live Doppler radar anytime, along with extended forecasts and much more. This is also where Sean and Angela have been streaming really much of the afternoon as these storms move through. It's a free download right now.
And we have breaking news that we're following right now at 4. An active shooter is reported at the Islamic Center of San Diego.
Police say this started roughly an hour ago. I want to take you live to the scene. You can see a very heavy police presence as we look at a live picture from a helicopter there. This is about 9 miles or so north of downtown San Diego. Not a lot of information available right now.
So the mayor has tweeted that emergency personnel are on scene. They are actively working to protect the community and secure the area. Of course, you have the Islamic Center there. As you can see, there are a lot of homes in a heavy residential area there. As soon as we learn more, we'll update you. We'll stay on top of this and continue to monitor in our newsroom, the news out west in San Diego. Also this afternoon, a man is in police custody months after investigators say he drove drunk and killed a woman in a crash.
It happened early Christmas morning near 38th and Midhofer on Indy's far east side. As our Ashton Hackman explains, it wasn't just alcohol that caught the attention of police.
25-year-old Stanley Louis is charged with 4 separate felonies, including causing death while operating intoxicated, reckless homicide, and causing death while never having a license. Court docs say Louis was driving home from a friend's house just before 3 in the morning. His wife was following behind in another car, but they didn't make it home. Louis allegedly hit another car. 32-year-old Haley Clark was the driver. She died in the crash.
Investigators say Louis' blood alcohol content wasn't the only thing. That was twice the legal limit. And that at the time of the impact of the crash here at Mithofer and John Marshall Drive, Louis was going nearly 100 miles an hour.
Investigators say he was likely going much faster, with estimates that Louis was going at least 118 miles an hour before the crash. The speed limit along this stretch is 35.
They're forever going to think about Christmas Day, what should be a happy time for them and celebration, to wake up and find out that your family members lost their life.
Investigators say Louis did not have a license at the time of the crash and never had one.
It's a no-win situation. You have a life lost and someone's going to pay the ultimate price going to jail and having to remember that they took a life.
In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
An update now on the investigation into a Muncie triple shooting. We've learned the prosecutor has filed charges today against the man accused of killing a mom on Mother's Day and then shooting two men reportedly trying to help her. This is 21-year-old Rylan Davis. The Delaware County Prosecutor's Office filed 10 different charges against him, including murder. Davis is accused of shooting and killing 23-year-old Cheyenne Rains. Court documents say two men were driving by, saw Davis allegedly dragging Rains down South Walnut Street, and stopped to try and help her. But when they got out of the truck, investigators say Davis began shooting at them and Rains. A retired police officer was able to subdue him until police arrived. Another former officer also helped the three victims. 13 News spoke exclusively with that retired officer about what happened, and he believes God put both of them there for a reason.
I think he purposely put us there, you know, I don't know whether to prevent more injury or what it was, or make sure that he did get caught, but obviously only God knows those answers.
13 News also spoke with one of the men who jumped out to help Rains. Michael Hennessy talked with us from his hospital bed as he recovered.
I seen that, and his instinct took over, I guess.
We learned over the weekend that Michael made it home. Glad to hear that. The other man who was shot trying to help Rains is still in the hospital at last check in critical condition.
This afternoon, we're getting a look inside the new adventure park coming to Hamilton County.
Yeah, so if you travel up and down US 31, you've likely noticed the signs for Sky Lake Adventures opening in Sheridan. Our Samantha Johnson spent the day there. She's here now with an update on how it's going on. It's been a while since we've had one of these in our area, right?
And it's been a big talker too. A lot of people are excited about this because Sky Lake promises to be a one-of-a-kind adventure park. Everything from a 6-acre lagoon to beaches, a high ropes course, all kinds of good stuff going on there. But if you've been up and down 31 lately, you know what I'm talking about when I say it looks like a big pile of dirt and it's opening in 3 weeks. So what's the deal here? I went on site today and learned that this adventure park is opening in waves. Okay, so you're right. There is a lot of construction still to go on this property. The lagoon specifically is what's going to open on June 4th. So there's a bird's eye view of that property there. It's a man-made lake, white sandy beaches all around it. There's a floating obstacle course there too, so much more that you can enjoy on the water. But as you can see, there's a lot of dust around the water, right? The rest of the property is still under construction. So I talked to the general manager of Sky Lake, and he tells me he likes to say the water attractions will be fun this summer, and then the rest is fun to come.
There'll be temporary fences up and stuff like that to separate everything, but we'll do everything we can to make sure that the guest experience isn't ruined by that. We understand that you go past 31 right now, you see a big pile of dirt. We get it. That dirt isn't the attraction right now. Right now we're focusing on the lagoon, and that dirt at the end of this year will be a really cool snow tubing hill.
So the rest of the attractions, like he mentioned, that tubing hill, the high ropes course, those will be fully operational by next summer. So you'll have to wait a little bit longer for those. I did ask some more hard-hitting questions that we all want to know, like where are the bathrooms, right?
Yes.
That's important. And he promised me they will be installed in the next 17 days. He says there will be bathrooms ready for opening weekend, which is scheduled to begin Thursday, June 4th. So coming up at 5, we're going to talk about those developers, why they chose that location specifically. And then what about tickets? What about prices if you want to go this summer? We'll talk about that too.
All right, those renderings look
pretty cool.
Incredible.
It looks like it's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Okay, time will tell. We will see. Thank you so much, Sam.